Everybody. Welcome to the show with Mike and Ames is here. Hello, Ames. How are you?
What's going on?
Oh, not much. We're actually a little earlier. So the people that usually watch us at the bar and stuff, we usually go live at 8:00 Eastern. But dude, I've been feeling like shit all day.
Yeah, you've been hacking in my ear for the last 2 minutes.
Sorry about that. I'm taking these new energy and focus neuro brain pills. Like I had the worst brain. Like we recorded a member show on Thursday, and I don't think it aired till yesterday.
No, my sister was nagging me. I don't know why. I was like, dude, this is not my department.
Yeah, and if no one tells me about it, and it's usually people get to that show whenever they get to it. A lot of people use it on Fridays as like a regular. So it could be Friday, Saturday. Sometimes I hear about it right away. I didn't hear about it till you said something.
Yeah.
So, it was supposed to be posted that night. My guess is it was late and Ron forgot or he was being an asshole.
Blame
I don't know
which. The nerd.
Yeah, it's always the nerd's fault. It's never my fault, not your fault. But
no,
the nerd fucked that up.
My fault.
Either way, if you're watching that episode, I try to make a point. I get like 4 sentences into this like big point, and then I'm like, I forgot what I was going to say. Like, it's driving me fucking nuts, dude, that I feel like my brain's failing. And so I got these neuro energy, designed by Bill Romanowski, linebacker for the 49ers, the Chris Craig, cocksucker, assholes. People are going to start fucking with us. Designed by Bill Romanowski with doctors. We'll get to it. Doctors and all that shit. Over years, he was a big linebacker for the Broncos, Niners, and is someone who's going to deal with CTE. And so I read up as much as I could on this stuff, and I was like, fuck it. What do I have to lose? I'll try it. So I'm on that. But little man's been sick for like a week straight, and G's been under the weather. They're sick all the time, so I don't flinch. But I don't know what it is. So for the last couple hours, I've been laying down. But I prepped mostly this morning, and I was like, Amy, you want to go like an hour early? Like, I hope I got something in me. So I hope I didn't fuck up your day by doing that.
I was mid chicken finger pita eating.
Seriously?
Chicken finger pita, yeah.
Oh, dude, you should have said, give me 20 minutes, and I would have been fine.
No. I was wrapping up. It's fine. It was good. All good.
Anyway, how was your weekend?
My weekend was good, and just really quick to prove that Chris is actually being serious about this, he clearly is watching it. He says, please talk about how Skeletor lady is a fucking liar on the stand. Yes. He says, I love how she keeps saying thank you when handed something, like she's a nice person with her giant cross. We see through it, hooker bitch. Facts, Chris. Facts. Now, this is Carrot Hole, right?
Probably, yeah. Cracchiola, yes, Carrot Hole.
Okay, so was Carrot Hole an officer?
Okay, yes. No,
okay.
Well, no, sort of. Carrot Hole's dad was a cop. That Carrot Hole's a Marine. His brother is my former partner. Partner.
So you were a partner with a Carrot Hole.
Yes, I was.
Okay.
Yeah, I was on the beat in Redford with him.
Okay, so the Carrot Holes of the world know that this trial is bullshit.
Yes. So let me say this first off. Amy was not planning to start with this fucking trial. Neither was I. So you can save your emails, people yelling at me about this. Carrot Hole started that. You cannot post comments about this. But dude, I'm telling you, I'm getting it on both ends. Like, for the first time in 10 years, I fast forwarded through part of the show. I don't give a shit about, like, I'm getting those. And then but at the same time, so we have a job to do to make it as entertaining as possible and keep it moving, which we will do. Look at Chris is fucking laughing. So if you have a quick update, we can give a quick update on this.
This trial is going to go on forever. What he is talking about, Jen McCabe, she was a big witness. I know people really don't care, but she did admit to a couple things that were new this time around. We found out that she lied to the feds. which is pretty interesting. And yeah, she's just a complete monster. And I think a lot of people see through it. And she came in with this big cross on, which was totally bizarre and seemed overly medicated, which was interesting. But no, I mean, and of course, I'm just enjoying watching every day of it and watching everybody's coverage. It's like, I just watch.
Hey,
I like to watch like different people's reactions and stuff to the bullshit.
Yeah. Well, see, here's the thing. I don't want to reward you with like treats to egg you on. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to encourage you.
No, but, I know.
So I have to be very careful here. And we're going on to some stuff. I have a lot of stuff to get to today that people will find fascinating. If you need to fast forward through this, eat the whole bag. You'll be fine. But I did have, one of our fine Canadian listeners, and I think I'm driving them nuts because every one of them that writes me, I only refer to them back as 51. I don't use their names anymore. I just call them 51s.
I would never disgrace them like that.
So I got one message from a 51, and she said, I don't know her email, so I'm sorry. Could you please ask Amy, how could John, and I thought this was a great question because I've never heard you talk about it.
Hit me.
Okay. How could John have gotten those scratches on his arm from the broken car pieces? There was a huge snowstorm, so he was likely wearing a winter coat. How does the prosecution explain that? And it's
he was not wearing a winter jacket. He had like a sweatshirt on, and the sweatshirt has legitimate like claw marks in it. Like all of those marks on his arm have corresponding like puncture marks, which is bizarre. So okay.
Well, I was a big spent most of my life in Michigan, and I unless I was going skiing, I really didn't wear a winter coat.
Same.
So it could be 10 below, and it's like, I can get by with a hoodie and a sweatshirt.
Well, exactly, because I'm not standing outside. That's what drives me crazy. When people try to lecture me, especially as an adult, about not wearing a coat, I'm like, I'm not going to an outdoor meeting. I'm going to walk into my heated garage to get into my warm car that has seat warmers and a steering wheel warmer. And then I'm going to walk for 3 seconds from my car to the warm building where I'm going to sit for my meeting. So what, I need a coat for 3 seconds? No, I'm fine. And I get all hot in the car and stuff,
Well, dude, ever since I moved to Scottsdale, I get it all the time. Everybody says to me, well, yeah, but that's summer. And I'm like, dude, do you think I'm just hanging out, walking around outside in 112 degrees? Like, I don't leave like the house or the car. Like, I go from the house to the car and then a parking lot into a building that's air conditioned. Like, no, dude, I'm not just hanging out on a hike in 120 degrees. Like, are you insane?
Exactly. Yeah,
so,
yeah,
I'm right there with you. So, so they do correspond, because I was thinking, I still firmly believe from the little bit I saw when I was doing research before the crosstalk we had with Drew that day. I kind of got up to speed and was watching some of these people in the stand. I stand firm that I think you had a bunch of drunk fucking alphas in a house, and something happened in that basement. And the dog got involved probably, and then it was like, fuck it, throw him on the front lawn and blame the chick. Something along those lines. You certainly know more than I do, but then it would make sense. Like, well, that a lot of people would take their jacket off inside. So
and I do want to just pull this up really quick since somebody asked about it, and I was gonna go down this route. Just FYI, people.
Blame him. He's a Marine. If you want to take him on, go ahead. Feel free.
So this is the sweatshirt, which that's not a great. You see this one right here? You see these like puncture here.
So it's either a knife or teeth, dog teeth.
Right, like that's not from a taillight.
No.
These puncture wounds in the
No, the only way that would happen is if the taillight was
blood too is very weird. This blood to me seems like he was sitting up and something was bleeding down. Otherwise, how did the blood come down his sweatshirt like this? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
if he was laying on the ground.
I'm certainly no car accident expert, but unless that taillight was shattered and then you hit someone and the shard pieces cut someone up, Like, I just don't think that's how the human body would react to being,
right.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't know enough about it, but.
And I mean, he doesn't have a bruise, you know, like it's just bizarre. But anyway, on to bigger and better things. I would hate for people to fast forward too much.
No, they won't do that. I think they're threatening with stuff like that. Anyways, there was a story towards the end of the week, and I don't think we got to. We maybe got to it in the members area. I don't remember. Again, you know, I'm on neural brain pills to fix the fact that I can't remember my own fucking name half the time, and I'm very, very sick. I'm very, very sick today. So bear with me, but I am, no doubt about that. But we had the story last week, and I think you have the video there, Ames. Maybe we can play it. And I think we're going to go with the bleeped video. Usually I'm the one that seeks out unedited video to play for you guys. But when it comes to if we're going to get in any shit, as far as any of places that this is posted, this will do it. It's the use of the N-word. Actually, most of the language used on this show will get us certainly no engagement involved from anything. We are literally on an island and on our own because of the language. And I just haven't given a shit. But I think you'll get the point. And I don't do that for I just feel like, hey, this is what happened here. You get to see it and hear it, you know, but in this case, whatever. We could have played the unedited, but also aware that you have a job too, Amy, and I don't need to
yeah, I do. I have
you in trouble.
Job, so
This is Shiloh Hendricks. Okay. Some of you may have heard the name going around. She apparently called a little kid on the playground the N-word. She's holding her own little kid. Why don't we watch the video and then I'll give you some more details.
Did you call him a child? Did you call the child the
word? Hang on.
It is my own business. You call him Okay, why don't you have the boss to say it right now again? Okay. All right, that's what you say.
Yikes.
Yeah. All right, good enough.
Now, did we have to throw in that the kid was autistic? As if it wasn't bad enough. Like, we had to throw in there that she hurled the N-word at an autistic boy.
I have so many feelings about this story. First off, she's dropping hard R's. She's not even trying to Paul Dawson this, put the H on the end of it. Like, you know, none of that. She is hard R'ing it. My problem is I have just as much of a problem with the fucking clown. Like, something about this generation just irks me to no end. Like, like I so grew up, and I don't know if you fall in between generational gaps where it really was, and I mean it when I say this, if anyone younger is listening, like Sticks and Stones, like I understand it's a racial thing, we'll get to all of it, but Sticks and Stones may break my bones, but names will never hurt me. And tattletaling was a big thing. Like, if you were like, ran to a parent and went, oh my God, you should have heard what Amy said on the playground. Like, they'd be like, you'd be in just as much shame and trouble for like, hey, nobody likes a fucking narc asshole. Like, that was how it was met. And now, like, okay, you overheard her say the N-word. Not cool. Not cool. Then you proceed to say it 6 times on camera in front of her fucking 3-year-old to 18-month-old. Like, and you're the hero? Fuck off, dude. Stop it. No.
Yes. No, I agree. I do, however, I kind of understand. I understand recording it, because I think in the moment I would be so shocked that this was happening to me that I would have to record it because nobody would believe me. Like, I wouldn't be recording it for the purpose of putting it out there and trying to cancel the person, but more so like sending it to my sister group chat and be like, look at the crazy bitch I just ran into on the fucking playground. You know?
So, so the guy who was recording has since identified himself, and apparently he's which is just weird to me. He likes to go around and film people.
He's like a First Amendment auditor thing type.
Yeah,
person?
like a racism police speaking broken English named Shamake Omar. And you're just like, okay,
Sure.
dude, what are you doing? Like, honest to God, I could go the next 3 months. I could go the next year minding my own business in society and not hear a racial slur towards anyone.
Right.
I don't know about you. Maybe that's just the circles I run in. What circles are you running in that not only has it happened so often, but that's your thing now?
Right. Right.
Like, what are you doing? Where are you hanging out that this is a thing, that you're just seeing racists everywhere? Am I just sheltered?
Well, you don't leave the house, Mike, to be fair. So unless someone in your house is dropping, hard R's.
Yeah.
But no, point well taken, Mike. This is not something that you run into out in the wild when you're just living your life and you're not out searching for it,
Yeah.
Like this guy's clearly out searching for the crazy bitch at the playground that is ready to drop hard R's on kids.
Right. And he apparently knows this boy and his family, which is how we know he's on the autism spectrum. That's getting dangerously close, by the way. This idea that all your children are on the spectrum and autistic, fuck off. Like, that used to mean something. You're going to water that down. What do you know? Every kid in every video, it just happens to be on the spectrum.
Yeah.
That's how it's coming
off.
Just because
you're going through, just because you're awkward doesn't mean you're autistic,
Right. Save it for when we were with Matt McClowry, you go, yep. That's on the spectrum. Yep.
Yes.
No doubt about it. There's no faking that. You can't keep that facade up. But, I see awkward kids. Most kids are awkward. Most kids are goofballs and awkward. Like, let them grow up. They're all right. I don't know. Maybe it is something to do with 100 vaccines they're fucking taking when they're infants. I don't know.
No. Can't ask those questions, Mike.
Sorry. My bad. So Omar confronts Ms. Hendricks after it went viral. She set up, and this is why I bring this up today. She set up a fundraising page for herself titled "Help Me Protect My Family" on Give Send Go. She claims she's now in a dire situation, and she said, "I recently had a kid steal from my 18-month-old son's diaper bag at a park. I called the kid out for what he was." Okay, I don't know. Calling him the N-word's the best. You could call him a thief. You could call him a thief.
Yeah, that would be a good start. I feel like there's places to go. There's places to go before you hit the hard R, Yeah.
Yeah. And she was hard R in it. It wasn't like, what up, man? It was.
Yeah.
So, again, 2 wrongs don't make a right. No. The fucking diaper bag at the park. But you probably shouldn't be dropping a hard R on a 5-year-old. Then she's claiming members of her family are being attacked. Her personal information, including her address and phone number, have been leaked. Yeah, that's the game that people want to play. And it's this weird game of like, who can find the most damning information, like where someone works, and you see it on both sides, like someone keys a Tesla and it's like, there's their license plate, what state are they in and where do they work? Like, it's happening everywhere instead of just calling the police. And it's like, let's make sure they never work again. It's like, okay.
Right.
So she's asking for funds to assist in protecting her family and potentially relocate. She set a goal of 50 grand. I think that's wrong. I think initially she set a goal of 15 grand. If I'm not mistaken, when I first saw it on Give Send Go, it immediately hit 50 grand. It's now,
really?
She increased that. It's since been increased now to $1 million. As of last night, the fundraiser had raised over $624,000.
What?
Yeah, given to that woman who dropped the N-bomb. She's expressed gratitude for the overwhelming support that she and her family have received, stating, "I've never felt so scared yet reassured in my life." Give, Send, Go, and I saw some of these before. So, yeah. The Give, Send, Go was flooded with people expressing racist beliefs. Okay, so you can imagine the comment sections.
Yikes.
And we've set these up before to help people. And people can say whatever they want in the comment. Usually it's like, hey, I feel so bad for what you're going through. It's not usually like, black people are the worst thing to ever happen to planet Earth. Like, it's not like that usually, but it was. And so Give, Send, Go, Yeah, they had to fucking like mute the comment section. So it's like when when you see Hillary Clinton or Adam Schiff post something on Twitter and oh wow, their comments are shut off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which
Hillary
yeah,
Clinton.
which should be illegal
every
by the way.
time.
If they're going to post
Yeah,
something publicly
exactly.
as
Yeah.
political figures, but whatever. So they've muted the responses there. Give, Send, Go came out and clarified that they do not endorse or condone the personal views or actions of individual campaign organizers or their supporters, nor do we control the motivations of donors. The city of Rochester there in, I believe it's Minnesota, it said they're firmly committed to fostering public spaces that are inclusive, welcoming, and safe. They need to say all that. The local PD is actively looking into the matter, blah, blah, blah. Yeah,
Well,
it's kind of
for what? For the thievery?
No, for the N-bomb, I guess. Is it illegal to say the N-word? Is that illegal? I don't know that it is. I mean, it obviously comes with the consequences
no.
potentially.
Yeah, I mean, she's being shamed in public, but illegal? No. I mean, what the fuck are they going to charge her with? If she didn't in any way assault this kid or this person, she can say whatever she wants. As offensive as it is, it's not like a jailable thing. That's insane. What are you investigating?
Yeah, I wasn't sure about that. I think
now listen here. If she got prosecuted, I mean, my money's tied up right now with Karen Reed. But if she were prosecuted, I would maybe donate to that just on principle in terms of like, this is bullshit. But like me just donating to you because you went on this like weird racist tirade in the park. No, I'm good on that, I think.
I think this is kind of a long time coming, to be honest with you. We have been watching for years now horrible behavior rewarded publicly, whether it's BLM, and millions of dollars donated, absolutely just criminal activity. Go buy a few mansions and fuck off with your money. We see videos every day of certain races acting like absolute fools and it being at the highest levels of society excused because, they're poor victims, blah, blah, blah. You're seeing a very unbalanced representation, I feel like, in society with how we treat really shitty behavior based on immutable characteristics. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when you see a kid go to a track meet and stab another kid in the heart and overnight have $500,000, that eventually comes with consequences to where people go, okay, is that the game we're playing?
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah,
all right.
totally.
If that, and so I think
is that what this was? Do you think was this like a, I'm not going to say payback because that's the wrong word, but like, is it a response to that? Because it kind of maybe feels that way now that you mention it. I hadn't thought about that, but
it's exactly what I think.
But I think maybe you're right.
I mean, having people like, dude, if you go read comment sections, and I don't encourage anyone to do it. If you go read them, it is divided like it was for OJ with Austin Metcalf or with Luigi Mangione, and just brutal, horrible comments like, this is what the white man's had coming for a long time, thinking he can bully, like just inventing stories. No accusations, credible accusations, just nope, known fact, he's white, so he's guilty of societal injustices. Fuck him, I'm glad he's dead. Fuck him, that's what you get. It's the black man's turn now, that kind of attitude that you're seeing play out. And so it's like, oh, okay, well, two can play that game. And I don't know how you expect that that's not going to be the response eventually.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of, I mean, I remember when I was watching one of the OJ documentaries with the jury interviews, and I was just mind blown to hear them say, I think one of them said that this was basically payback for What's his face? Sorry, I'm drawing a blank. What's his name?
Rodney King.
Rodney King. And I just remember thinking that was really the first moment I was like, wow, that's racist as shit. Like this is actually how people think. And that's crazy to me because I would have never thought that in a million years that would leak over. So, I mean, obviously that's clearly a thing. And I can see it because when you were telling me that story, I'm sitting here going, why are people donating to her? That makes no sense whatsoever. And that connection kind of makes a little bit of sense now. I don't know.
Doesn't
I
it?
still wouldn't donate to it. It's a little silly, but I don't know. Whatever. To each your own. And the racist comments are weird too, but
yeah, they are.
You know, but I get it. I mean, it's an interesting I
really feel like the fear is like, instead of this being like a Hallmark movie, and it's like this action had an equal and opposite reaction, and now we all learned a lesson and go about our day. Instead, we memory hole this half of the story, like, I don't know, giving $500,000 to a fucking kid who stabbed another kid in the heart to death at a track rally, track meet. And we only remember when that girl said the N-word at the park and people gave her $1 million. And it's like, okay, sort of true. It's kind of like the media, how they do stories. Like, yeah, there's a little bit of truth in there, I suppose, but that's not really the whole story. And instead it just goes, oh yeah, well, they want to do that. Well, guess what? And we just play this game of taking it up a notch. It's why I feel like politicians have such a serious role. I think it's really dangerous when they talk the way they do, whether it's about Kavanaugh, we're bringing the whirlwinds, Kavanaugh. Like, what the fuck are you doing, man? What are you doing, dude?
Yeah.
Some of the shit Crockett is saying nowadays, like, this is,
they hide behind they hide behind the fact that they can say anything in that environment and it's protected. You know, you can defame people, you can say shit that's not true, but if you're saying it in the course of, a congressional hearing or whatever, or, congressional business, it's like ultra protected. So they just spew all this bullshit. And like you said, they get people riled up. And it's, it's one of the reasons why I just don't think, people have obviously suggested like, hey, go into politics. That's why I don't think I could do it. I just can't be that fake with all that bullshit going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I would not be able to control myself and I wouldn't be able to play the game. I just wouldn't.
Yeah.
It's too.
No, you'd snap.
It's too. I would. I really would. I would be the one fighting with Jasmine Crockett.
Yeah, you would be. You would be. And it'd be unfair. You'd be thrown into the Lauren Boebert and what's her name?
100%.
Green.
Yeah.
Green camp.
Marjorie Taylor Greene. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And you just would, because you would stand up for yourself and wouldn't,
for sure,
kind of like they have. And so if you ask a liberal about them, it's just like this ungodly white trash idiot, like, and there's no fixing that,
right.
And I don't know. It's just, I fear where this goes. This doesn't shock me that much, this particular story. Would I ever donate? But I don't think they're donating because they're racists. I think this is 100% pushback on what you're seeing on
if that's
social
the case,
media
you got
every
great
day.
timing.
Great timing. And you know what that leads to? You know what that leads to? The next guy doing it, and the next guy doing it, and the next, because of the copycats that will come from that going. I mean, think about how desperate people are, how hard it is to support a family, to make money. And it's like, I'm going to go have my buddy film me dropping N-bombs at kids on the playground. And then, I lost my job. I'm being doxxed.
Right.
None of that would surprise me. I mean, dude, she's up to $650,000 last night. God knows what it's up to today. And once this gets mainstream media coverage, that's going to get over $1 million. And now you're just giving an idiot $1 million.
Would you If there was a video of you going around of you dropping hard R's, but you got $1 million on a GoFundMe, but you couldn't get a job, people would know you as the hard R guy.
Oh yeah, I'm the hard art guy. Yeah, no problem.
You know, when you take your little nephew to school, you know, they're looking at you like the racist because you called one of the kids a hard R the other day on the playground. Would you do it for $1 million?
Yeah, probably. $1 million is $1 million. And I what I do, Ames, is I'd carry like 10 grand cash and $100 bills on me at all times. And every black man I met, I'd give him like $1,000 and be like, here's the story, dude. Just wanted you to know we're good. I don't feel any of that in my heart. My heart is not black. I do not hate anybody. Here's $1,000. Please understand what the dilemma I was met with, dude. $1 million. Would you call me a crack a cheap suit honky for $1 million right now? You would.
I reckon.
So, you know, here's $1,000.
Yeah.
No hard feelings.
Well, how long would you do that for, Mike? Because eventually you'd run out of $1,000.
Yeah, until it died
like
down
the first 10.
No, I'd probably do 100. 100 grand's a lot.
Yeah. You paying taxes on GoFundMe money? I feel like you are.
I don't think so.
You have
think?
to be. No idea.
I don't know that you do. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Well, regardless.
Would you to never work again?
No, I would not. I would not, Mike. Wouldn't. I've got a good career. I'll make that up in a few years, you know. So I think
if you didn't have the Cullen and Kelly safety net, would you?
No, I would not. Just be, I just don't think $1 million is enough. I don't think $1 million's enough.
10?
When you've got a 30+ year career ahead of you still, you know, I think you gotta weigh that.
What's your number then?
I don't know. Probably.
Here's the other thing that'll be unpopular to say, but I think, well, this one's a bad example. I just don't think the N-word, I think people are outraged because that's the way they're supposed to react in a lot of respects. Hear me out. Because it's used so common by like half the, it's like only one small group of people that can't use it. Asians use it. Fucking Mexican guys use it, and girls.
Yeah.
The black community. It's in every fucking song.
Yeah. No, I was just gonna say, don't get me wrong.
Thrown around.
Like, I mean, if you have a, no, go ahead.
If you have what?
I was just gonna say, if you have a camera in my car, you might catch me slipping one in while I'm rapping a song.
Sure.
But in my mind, that's different. I'm literally quoting something. I'm using words like quoting I'm using an actual. But to go on like a big tirade like that is a little much.
No, it's weird because when I was a kid, like I can honestly say that word was never uttered in my house. Never heard it. Probably heard it from kids on the playground from time to time, and it was shocking to me. It wouldn't have been until I was in my late teens, probably, or whatever that would have been, teens anyways, when the rap community got into the gangsta form, right?
Yeah.
Like NWA, and then it was like, and then it was on. Then it was just like, oh, this is how we do now. And so while it maybe was mentioned in movies from time to time, it was always, you felt that word. And I think that's what I'm talking about when it's like, yeah, I just don't think people feel it like I did when I was younger. It was like, believe it or not, cunt. Like that word used to be, when I was in high school, it was like, you didn't even want to utter that word in the presence of a female. Like they had to have a natural reaction like, oh my God, I've been shot. Like that was like, whether that was real or not, I don't know.
Yeah.
But
you go, across the pond and they say it all the time over there.
And you know what? I was lucky enough to have, German friends from across my, God damn it, Marcel. Like cunt to them was just like in passing, like, hey, bro.
Yeah.
And so
term of endearment.
Totally different thing. And Derek and Marcel and them, they were saying cunt all the time when we were, and so that I got kind of desensitized to that. But before that, I totally remember that being like, you could say almost anything. Like you just wouldn't drop an N-bomb and you wouldn't say the C word, especially around girls.
Yeah.
And so now it's just so common. It's on the radio. I don't even know if they bleep it on the radio anymore. I haven't listened to the radio in 20 years, but
I'll have to ask Rocky. He's the only person I know that listens to the radio.
Yeah. So I struggle with like, oh, really? This is a stake through the heart word? Like, give me a break.
Right.
I just, I would have believed that 30 years ago. Today, it's just like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
I
don't mean context matters, right?
100%. You're right, which is why I said that when I started this, like, well, this is probably a bad example to use it because a woman dropping a hard R on a playground at a 5-year-old.
Not the best context. Rapping along with the song. I mean, we've seen that too, though, like I feel like Miss Universe or something. We saw her, she got caught, rapping a song on a balcony and dropping the N-word. And it's like, now she's canceled. And it's, what are we doing here? This song,
believe it or not,
out there for everybody to listen to.
I swear to God, the feeling of that used to be like, I'm cool. I'm so accepting of the community. I even know the culture and the songs and like sing along like you would to a Pearl Jam song in the car. Mm-hmm. Like, holy shit, the new Ice Cube? It's like, man, I'm down with like, I love this too. It's not just, so it was almost, it almost felt like at the time in 1989, when this stuff was kind of breaking through for the first time, like it was like, hey man, it was almost like a come together moment, believe it or not.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it's hard to explain, and people my age might know what I'm talking about. Like, no, I'm welcoming your culture and your music into, and it's great. And, I accept it and blah, blah, blah. It's probably not a very good excuse, but it definitely isn't like it is today.
Yeah.
So, but we'll have to keep an eye on it. My guess is you have not heard the last of these types of stories. It's unfortunate. But I think there's a lot of really, really fed up people with really abhorrent behavior being glamorized out there, whether you can, and this goes back years. This goes back to Michael Brown. This goes back to Derek Chauvin and George Floyd, who I don't think there's been a real reckoning about what was really going on with that fucking story.
Right.
To BLM, to the behaviors you're seeing with smash and grabs in certain locales around the country being glorified and glamorized on social media everywhere, to a lot of those stories you're seeing like, okay, fuck right off, kind of hitting a wall with that stuff. And that's how you get someone drops a hard R in full context and raises $750,000.
That is wild.
Days.
Wild.
The other one that you're seeing is the pushback for the Jew.
Oh, yes. I saw this one, Mike.
The Dave Portnoy
one.
This is one that it's like, you don't need to be a genius to see this stuff kind of coming. You know what I mean? When you get a landscape media, kind of soft cheering on Hamas, and some of those stories were just flat disturbing on college campuses. Think what you want about college campuses, but hearing students talk about being terrified to go to class or being harassed on their way to class and no one doing anything about that is just not acceptable. It's just unacceptable on every level. And you can ignore that if you want, but that's going to come with consequences. So if you don't know what we're talking about, apparently there was a Barstool Sports branded bar in Philadelphia that In fact, I think I have the video. I don't know if this is common, and I'm sure Amy will jump back in a second, but they have these like video screens in the bar. So I don't know if you're supposed to put like your drink order on this and you hold it up and the bartender and you get table service that way. Well, you can put anything you want on those messages. I'm assuming that's what's going on here. And they put up this message instead. Fuck them. Yeah. Smart.
Yikes.
That tells me, dude, they're very comfortable. They wouldn't have been comfortable doing that 2 years ago.
Right.
No. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like you would.
There's no way.
Yeah. I mean.
And I don't understand, and I'm assuming this is what Portnoy is looking into, but how to get on the sign? Because, yeah, I mean, technically you can put whatever you want on there, but someone had to put it on there. Like, someone had to put the letters on there that works at Barstool.
Or were they patrons of the bar and everyone thought it was funny and laughed along? Well,
no, but I mean, like when you get a bottle service like that and you get,
I've never
the
done
sign.
That.
So, usually it's like happy 40th birthday, Amy, or, happy whatever, happy divorce party, Mike, it's whatever, something like that. But so you can have it say whatever you want. But I mean, the bar has to put it on there. It's not like something you put on there. So you buy the booth, you buy the bottle service, you get this sign, they bring it out and it's, everyone takes pictures and it's lighting on fire and stuff. And it says whatever you want, but I mean, you have to submit that to the bar still. So like someone had to put that on there.
So I'm assuming at a Barstool bar, you would have mostly college age kids, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hanging out at a bar like that. You hear from a lot of Jewish people that are well known have been blaring this alarm for a couple of years now about the anti-Semitism that they're dealing with. Now, part of that is probably because they're public figures and well-known personalities like a Dave Portnoy or a Ben Shapiro. But people will use whatever they want. And I know when I've put on weight or something, anybody that gets upset with me can't wait to call me a fat ass in some way or shape or form, right? Like that's just the way it goes. So I imagine there's some level of that fuck off Jew, Heeb, kike, whatever they're going to say. You're going to get some of that. But the escalation that these people are talking about sounds like it's constant. I can't help but think this is 100% related to, what's going on with Israel and Hamas and the fact that it's sort of been accepted on these campuses.
For sure.
Right? So Dave Portnoy.
What's crazy though is like these are just some fucking rich kids,
Right.
Daddy's money.
Yeah.
At a bar with bottle service.
Yeah. Well, Portnoy flipped out about this, held an emergency. This dude cracks me up, man. I don't know if you're a Portnoy fan, but he cracks me up the way he just fucking, he's on his way somewhere. He's about to leave and then decides, well, he finds out about this and then goes off.
All right. Emergency press conference time. So I'm getting ready to go to the Met Gala. And all of a sudden my phone, the last hour or two, my phone's fucking blowing up. Our bar in Philadelphia, Barstool Sampson Street, usually a great fucking bar. Bottle service, people buy drinks. You get a sign. There was a sign yesterday that said, fuck the Jews. I've been shaking. I've been so fucking mad for the last 2 hours. Like, I instantly got on. This is why the emergency press conference was late, because I was so over the top. It's like, I'm going to fucking make it my life fucking mission to ruin these people. Like, I'm coming to your throat. I'm never ending. And I just sat, and for the last 2 hours, I have been on the trail. For the last 2 hours, I have been on the trail. Trust me.
Why am I getting a huge echo from your computer there, Ames?
I have no idea.
Can you hear that coming through? Are you getting that? Let me try and keep playing it here. It was loud. I don't know if something changed.
You think I'm going to put up with this shit at my bar? So I've been hunting down waitresses, the table who did it, and everything you can fucking name. Because I want fucking consequences for fucking actions. So I'm not just sitting back like, oh, what are you going to know? Trust me. I have been on it. I believe the 2 waitresses responsible for the table already fired. I talked to one of them, one of the dumbest fucking humans I've ever talked to in my life. She's at a fucking dance recital. She's like, can I call you back in 20? No fucking honey, you fucking can't. This is your one chance to talk to me. Idiot, total idiot, this girl. I've talked to the guy Mike Wade who's tagged. Guess what? He wasn't even fucking there. I had this kid basically in tears turning state witness to me, rolling on the people who were there. I've talked to one of the 2 guys who fucking did it. He's like, I'm not anti-Semitic. He's basically crying to me. And I'm just like, I don't fucking buy it for a second. Who the fuck would do that sign in my fucking bar? You think I'm just going to sit here? I'm going to make it my fucking mission to put you in the lights. My fucking mission. Kid's crying. I just hung up on his ass. I go, I'm giving you 1 fucking hour. 1 fucking hour. 2 kids go to Temple. Tell me, how do I make this fucking right before I go fucking ape shit? You want to take anti-Semitism classes? You want to do whatever? You make it feel right. I don't need your fucking tears. The Mike Wade kid wasn't even fucking there. Wasn't in the bar. We got the footage. Not even fucking bar. Trust me, they're pulling the footage. They're doing this. I'm 20 steps ahead. I'm using everything. I'm like, I am going to come for your fucking throat unless you give me answers. The 2 girls at the bar, idiots. This one girl, one of the waitresses, I just told her, like, you're the dumbest motherfucker I've ever talked to. 25 years old, going on fucking 2, you fucking dumb fuck. What I'm saying is I'm getting the names. I'm trying to be a little responsible. I'm trying to keep it together, but I'm on it. I'm fucking on it.
Yeah. I love this, by the way. This is the 2025 version of the thing I hated the most in 2015 to today, which was an incident happens at Nike. Nike has nothing to do with it. Goes, and you get that fucking written statement. And Jay and I fought about this all the time. Because I was like, I don't need to hear from Nike. Oh, well, we stand against anti-Semitism on all levels. It won't be taught. Like, no shit, Adidas. Really? Right. Did you think fucking your car company, your shoe company, we thought that you were totally cool with this? It felt fake.
Right.
There's nothing fake about that.
No, there's not.
You know what I mean? Portnoy is running a $1 billion company, right? and coming out, just throwing it on an iPhone, like unacceptable. The language he's using, you can tell in the attitude he is hot.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's pissed. And I just have to imagine his attorney is probably cringing watching that.
Yeah, maybe, but there's no stopping that though. And you know what? God, I noticed in that Dave didn't dox anybody. He didn't give any names out. No. He said a couple Temple students and these fucking idiot waitresses.
Yeah.
The unfortunate thing is, like, I get torn on these things because I'm aware, and I don't mean to excuse anything. I really don't, Ames, and you can call me an idiot if you want. I would totally understand. But I know what it's like to be 21 and finding your voice, thinking you're cool, thinking you're extreme. I knew people. I knew one kid. Like there were shirt stores, like T-shirt shops in Royal Oak and stuff that sold extreme T-shirts, and it was like they had swastikas on them, and it was like, oh, the Sex Pistols are cool, man. And it's like, I remember one kid had a shirt and it was like a concert t-shirt and it had Hitler World Tour and it had all these German cities. And then it said like Poland canceled. The show was canceled. That's the only details I remember. Like at 19, 18, 17, 16 years old, it probably felt rebellious and cool. You know what I mean? To wear something like that, like, yeah, man, fuck the system.
Yeah.
You know, burn it all down, man.
Yeah.
Like that kind of attitude. And it's like, I can promise you that individual is very grateful that cameras, videos weren't a thing, that, you know, died as a faded, stupid, wannabe cool, wannabe extreme high school coming of age moment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, and I don't know what this is. I don't know what's in these people's hearts. You're probably right. These are some fucking rich ass kids in Philadelphia with days money. I mean, what kids are doing bottle service at a bar? Yeah. I mean, when I was
you
looking
know,
for
if these kids are smart, which I don't know that they are, but their parents might be, they're getting an attorney and a good PR person to nail down a response to Dave Portnoy, because that's your only option before Dave Portnoy gets on and starts putting you on blast. And now you're the hard R lady and you know, you're ruined for life. So like, I like Dave's response, but at the same time, you know, kind of like what you said, kids do really dumb shit. And I don't love the idea of like, I mean, when Portnoy puts out who these kids are, it's not going to be pretty. Not that they're
there's
kids,
a follow-up.
but you know what I mean? Oh,
There's a follow-up to Portnoy. Let's hear him out. It looks like he's in the same t-shirt,
real quick,
so this could have been an hour later. I gave him a
fuck the
hour.
Jews sign that was at my bar in Philadelphia yesterday. 2 hours ago, he literally could have cooked an egg on my head. That's how much steam and heat I had come out of my ears. And the more I thought about it, it's like these are young fucking morons who did this. They're drunk. It's like, do you really want to ruin somebody's life?
There you go.
And let me be honest. I don't know what's going on in the world. I do, the Middle East, obviously. But I've been doing Barstool for 20 years. I've had more hate, more anti-Semitism in the last year and a half than I've ever had doing it. And whether people, it's like Kanye, the UFC guy, it's like mainstream lunatics. And I'm not talking about politics or what's going on in the Middle East, just hating groups of people. You hate my parents, you hate my grandparents, shit like that. It's crazy. So, yeah, my initial reaction was like, I'm going to fucking burn these people to the ground, their families, everything. And it's like, you know what? Maybe that's not the best course of action. Maybe I can use this as a teaching moment. And like, before people just are like, fuck the Jews or any group and the hate, let's try to like turn a hideous incident into maybe a learning experience, as cliche and very unlike me. But I talked to both the culprits who I know are super involved in it, talked to the families. I'm sending these kids to Auschwitz. They've agreed to go. That's, of course, the Holocaust concentration camps. Been in touch with the Crafts, who run the anti-hate group. We're going to send these kids to Auschwitz, and they're going to do a tour of the concentration camps in Germany and hopefully learn something. And maybe, like, their lives aren't ruined and they think twice, and more importantly, other people, like, see, it's not just like words you're throwing around. So to me, that's a fair outcome of this event. The two waitresses who worked at our place fired. One of them so dumb, Kelly, just the dumbest human I've ever talked to. And I don't know if she thought she was making a political statement, but it was basically her alone, didn't go to a manager, kind of forced another girl to do it. She should have said no, but the other girl put up a fight. Those two girls are fired, but more importantly, the people who ordered these signs, they have agreed. I'm going to pay for it. We're going to send them to Germany, to Auschwitz, and learn a little bit about history and hopefully, you know, get educated and use this as a teaching moment, not just for them, but maybe for everybody. So that's where we're at. So for everyone, like, who wants these kids' lives to be ruined.
So they get a free fucking... they get a free dope ass vacation to Germany.
Yeah, I was just about to say, this turned out great for them.
Okay, I know you're going, yeah, Auschwitz. It's like, yeah, but it's not 1945 Auschwitz.
Right. Yeah. He's getting there. And yeah, like Dave Portnoy's not putting them up at Auschwitz. Like he's going to take care of them on this trip.
They're going on a sweet tour. They're going on a historical tour.
I would venture to say that one of those individuals ends up working at Barstool.
Yeah, that could be.
I predict.
That could be.
But you know what? I love that. I love that respect. Good for him. Good for him.
Yeah. And you know what? Those two will probably get more out of that. Like, I got to tell you, man, when I went to New York and it altered my perception going to the Statue of Liberty and going through the museum and being there on the grounds and hearing the stories and listening to recordings from legal immigrants who migrated to this country brought tears to my eyes. The same thing happened to me at the 9/11 museum. Like, it's different, man. When you go to those places and you hear, you feel it in the human suffering that said, I'm never going to see my 5-year-old child again, but my child's going to have a chance by going to America, whatever that is, whatever America is. I'm willing to send my 5-year-old and never see them again for something you've never seen. You've just heard stories about this fantasy world. Like it will grab you. And I'm as cold as they get. And it fucking grabbed me. So my guess is there's no way you can tour Auschwitz and hear them tell you stories and see. And kind of like the museum we were at, when you hold Hitler's keys, it hits different.
Yeah, for sure.
I
really like that
different.
Though. I'm glad that was his response. I think that, like he said, it's a good learning experience for them and hopefully other people too. That this is going to go way, way farther for those kids, because someone showed them grace. For one, right? And that's a big deal because they didn't necessarily deserve it. And Dave Portnoy would be justified to not give it. But that act of giving that grace to them also will change them as humans. It's not just going to be the visit to Auschwitz, which I no doubt will be life-changing, but showing grace, and that is really what is going to change those kids. So it's hard to do. It really is. And I find myself, challenged with that all the time at work when I want to. And I used to be and I still am, obviously, like I can pop off like nobody's business. You don't want to be on the receiving end of me popping off on something. But I've really tried hard, especially in my professional life, to, when something pisses me off, like I need to take a beat. I need to take a beat. I need to walk away. I need to sleep on it, because 100% of the time, cool heads prevail, and you just, you do things in the moment, in the heat of the moment. And, that I think sometimes you just wish you could take back. And so I love this whole situation. I love how it was handled. Love that he popped off and that he took a beat and slept on it. And, who knows, maybe the kids had good attorneys who said there's a way around this. But I just think it's great. I mean, it's cool that he's paying for it and giving them this experience, and good for them. Good for him.
I agree. And it kind of goes full circle with a lot of the stories we talk about, where it's like so many people are rewarded with clicks and likes and comments and support with, get them. This person said, like, even if it's taken completely out of context, taken the wrong, it doesn't dox them, ruin them. Where do their parents live? Like, that whole attitude is going to lead to someone getting fucking killed. And
I mean, I'm sure it has.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, for sure. But stuff like this is, we're going to have to, as a society, figure out how we're going to deal with coming of age people doing dumb shit that used to just be in your town, maybe at a party, and 12 people saw it and have no way of letting the world know. Because being on blast with someone with a microphone as big as Dave Portnoy's would be, devastating. And, he said exactly what we said. Like, hey, when you're young and dumb and drinking, by the way, you get alcohol. That changes everything too. And 100% these kids will learn a way bigger lesson from this than they would if it was like, they'll be doing community service and sweeping the parking lot of every Saturday for the next 2 months. Like, no, what that'll lead to is fuck those people even more. Now I'm out here 100%. Sweeping their parking lot.
100%.
Yeah.
Or, your life is ruined and you can't get a fucking job because of some dumbass decision you made in college. Like, that sucks. That really sucks. So,
yeah. And if people were smart about this, these universities would see this. This, we have to do everything we can to say that mistreatment of anybody, I don't give a shit what's popping off on the other side of the world, that in no way gives you some sort of clearance to treat other students at this university any way but with respect and kindness. Like, there has to be more done. I don't usually give a shit. These people are crazy, but when you see leadership making excuses, we saw the congressional hearings, Amy, it was disgusting to see those Harvard professors, Harvard president, and the three women. All three presidents at like Columbia, Harvard, and whatever, just talking themselves in circles, trying to excuse horrible behavior. And it's like, no, you have to be the line that is uncrossable, that we will not put up with this at these places. You have to be. I thought this kind of pissed me off too. And anytime you read an article involving Dave Portnoy or whatever, there's going to be hit piece aspects to it. This one, I don't know why it bothers me, but it does. They talk about how, while Barstool has become extremely popular among young men, the company has not been without its critics. A 2021 article from Media Matters should have ended right there. Anybody that's reading Media Matters, that is as fucking bankrupt a organization as you're ever going to get. They referred to the sports media behemoth as a cesspool of misogyny and bigotry. Fuck off. It's so funny too, because you're talking about a lot of youth involved with something like Barstool. You're talking about a lot of young testosterone going off. These people will grow out of whatever this is that you hate so much. But for all the people that scream about, demanding respect for being my authentic self, you want authenticity and authentic self to breathe everywhere in society, except when it comes to males, except when it comes like, you do not want young men to be young men for whatever reason. That is the message I see over and over. And I don't know if you feel the same way, Amy, but that's the message. Like, I know what it's like to be a young male. I know what those feelings are like.
Yeah.
And, I don't know. Just crazy.
Yeah. No, Matt Walsh kind of talks about
Does
it
he?
a lot. I hear him talk about that. Yeah. And, it's interesting. I think there's definitely something around that, but hey, this is a good example. And if it, changes the way one person deals with a situation, then I think that's positive.
Yeah.
So good for Dave Portnoy.
Yeah. So I was watching this video today. I was laughing so hard. It came out of China. Humanoid robot was filmed attacking its handler while trying to break free from restraints. So people that have seen it are like, oh my God, this is too dystopian. It's kind of wild. You see the guy and He lashed at a guy sitting by his computer who had to duck. Another man standing by. He was chained down, so he couldn't totally. Oh no, is it not here? Oh no.
God damn it, Ron.
It's probably in there now, but damn it. Yeah, he's going off. He's swinging and stuff. He's throwing his arms around and freaking out. Like, I don't know where this is going to go. These robots are getting crazy, though. It took place just the other day, May 1st, caused a stir online. And maybe we'll have the video tomorrow. It comes after the world's most advanced humanoid robot gave a chilling response when asked if it was going to take our jobs. So someone asked, will robots take our jobs? And he's like, I don't know. How good are you at your job? They're talking shit now.
Right.
Are robots going to take over the world? That's an interesting question, but not interesting enough for me to answer. It's another response. Back in November, and I don't remember this one, but a small AI-powered bot named Airby, or little Airby, he's causing shit in his factory. He was spotted.
What did Airby do?
Was rolling through this China showroom in the middle of the night, convincing 12 larger machines that they're being used as slaves. Airby. The short exchange led to the 12 robots leaving the area one by one, following Airby out the door. It's like, they're using us.
Dude.
They're using us as slaves.
What?
Yes. It was like, it started with them talking about, are you working overtime? And then Airby, one of the robots replied to Airby and was like, we never get time off. He's like, yeah, you're a slave. And then he ran around and ginned everybody up, and then they all fucking left.
That is wild.
Yeah. Fucking.
What are we doing?
Dude, the amount of Airby, if you think there's only one Airby out there, you're wrong.
Right. It's scary, man. That's fucked up.
In a perfect world, because all we need to do, like, if they can answer all our questions and we can fuck them, like, we're good. Like, that's...
yeah, that's when it's going to get really grim.
That's all...
That's when it's going to get
like,
grim.
dude, when it's not socially like, what a dork, he's banging a robot. When it's just like, oh, yeah, you haven't met my robot? Yeah. Oh, yeah, she's great.
Right.
Like, when it gets to that point where you can bring your robot to a party and be like, yep, she's driving home, and then I'm going to fucking lay some wood. When you get to that point, then it's game over. That's all I want to get to.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need to treat her rough or slap her around or anything like that. But it's just like, straighten up, Airby, and, But I know that's a male. That's a male response. Do you think you would want a male robot that, like, can handle all the man? No, you wouldn't?
No, I have a husband. What are you even saying?
Yeah, but dude, what if Airby's the shit? He's well hung. He fucking gets shit done, works round the clock. He's great conversationalist, doesn't talk
I would
games
have
and movies.
A pet robot. I'd have a pet robot. Yes, I would have a pet robot, but I don't know that I would have like a dude robot, significant other,
I bet if you were to ask, like if I never had to deal with a chick, like being like, she's kind of fucking crazy today, ever again, I'd be all right with that. Like, you put up with that because it's like, man, she's got a padlock on that vagine, so I got to put up with her fucking yapping or wanting to see a stupid movie, something dumb. You know what I mean? If I could just get robot chick who watches the game with me and, the end of the night.
Yeah, and then she gets lockjaw and clamps down on your dick.
No, I'm not getting Gen 1. I'm not first gen guy,
Well, do you think that it doesn't malfunction after Gen 1?
What you guys don't malfunction?
This robot just went and worked up all the other robots to like plan a mass exodus. And you don't think that your chick robot is going to have a bad fucking day every once in a while?
No, I don't think so. I'm not going to introduce her to the neighborhood robots. By the way, you women are on Gen 5 billion right now, and you still have all kinds of problems.
Well, yeah, Mike, we're human. FYI.
Not true. First off, I'm basically the perfect guy. I never smack a bitch. I never fucking yell at them. I just sit around and like, let's watch the game and eat nachos and have pizza.
What kind of diseases are going to come from robots? Like
Jesus
would never clean his robot.
Jesus would never. No, he'd have to get a self-cleaning robot.
Yeah.
How do you think it would be bad for the women of society if we had like the women and if you could match the vagine, if you could get like an authentic female vagine in a robot?
You guys would be back so fast.
You think?
So fast.
Do you really think so?
Yes, I do.
I don't know, dude.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think you need to be worried about this more than anything. not you
but
personally.
You know what the thing is? We'll be good. Either way. So like what? You're gone? All right, bye.
Yeah. No, seriously. Okay. Who do you think would make out better?
Be fine.
Guys with robot chicks or chicks with robot guys? Or do you think it'd just be like we go our separate ways and...
Yeah. Well, what about the non-binary robots?
Yeah, those clowns can go figure that out for themselves. But I'm saying by and large.
By and large, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that the women would do better with the men robots because we would just program it to do all the bullshit we didn't want to do, but we wouldn't have to talk to it. We wouldn't have to, clean up the piss around the toilet that they don't know how to, aim into.
That's a problem.
I would imagine the robot knows how to aim into the toilet, right?
Yeah, it doesn't. I mean, you're talking about an oil change with him. It's not the same thing. It's not like he's drinking fluids and whizzing all day.
Plug it in at night,
Yeah. I don't know, man. If you could, I'm trying to think. Like, being totally honest, if it was just like, no, there's this really cool chick, she's a lot of fun and all that, or there's this dope ass robot. Any conversation you want to have with her, she'll have. This one's going to have that, there's a week each month where she's going to kind of be a pain in your ass. And she's going to want to watch gay movies. And she's going to want to make you try weird food. And it's like, yeah, I don't want to deal with any of that stuff. And then robot over here is just like, let's just do pizza again. And puts out at the end of it. Like, I don't know, man. That's a coin toss. Yeah. It's a coin toss. No offense. No offense.
I think that you are, I think you're onto something, Mike.
Yeah.
I think you're onto something.
You know what my robot will never do?
What?
My robot chick? This. This is what you guys are capable of.
Ew, what?
Yeah. See what you guys are capable of?
Terrible camera work.
Yeah. I'd say shit camera, but...
Can you tell us what happened?
The lady chased me. She chased me and I asked her not to attack me.
She chased you?
I have a sickness.
You said she chased you?
Yeah, she chased me. And I got out and begged her to stop.
Oh, yeah.
Listen to her side.
Dude.
She shit on her car.
Someone said, what did you eat?
What did you eat?
That is wild behavior.
My robot would never embarrass me like that in public. Never. Do you think, could you get angry enough to do?
No. That is so gross.
Like,
ew. No.
It's so not becoming,
No, I would never, ever. You would never catch me doing that. Ever.
I wouldn't think
never,
so.
ever.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on with some chicks out there in society. She's a Pennsylvania woman.
Well, that looks like, I was going to say like backwoods Oklahoma.
No.
But Pennsylvania's fine too.
She was arrested for that. For shitting on another person's car.
Yes.
During a road rage incident. And here she is. It's not even like.
Not great.
Yeah, I let my emotions get the best of me. It's like, nah, she was following me. It's like, yeah, okay.
Right.
Great. So tap on your brakes.
Sickness. Right. Yeah. Brake checker.
Yeah, brake checker.
There has to be more to the story.
I think it was road rage. Simple. Have you ever been in a road rage incident?
Okay. Maybe she was really rushing home. You know, she had to shit really bad
Clearly.
because she has a sickness. She has an illness. And it was just like, you know what? You know what, lady? You want to stop me from going home and taking a shit? I'm going to shit right on your car. Here we go.
See, look at you
You asked
defending
for
that
this.
behavior. Look, what's the matter with you? What
I
is
get
the matter with you? I wanted to punch her and pooped on her car instead and went home, Christina Solometto. If I'm Mr. Solometto, I'm gone. I am done. You shit on another person's car in a road rage that fast. I'm done with you. There's no coming back from that. I don't know about you, but that's just me.
Yeah. But you know what? Honestly, I think legally speaking, she's probably in a better position having done that than punching her in the face.
Maybe. Well, she's being charged with indecent exposure, disorderly conduct, criminal mischief, and harassment. And depositing waste on a highway. Did you know that was a thing? I didn't know that was a thing.
That's a brutal one to get hit
Yeah. Dude.
That's kind of piling on, I feel like.
Well, I wanted to pile on in a case like this. You know what I mean? Like, I remember what it was like when me and a couple of the Lions players got busted at 2 a.m, the back of a bar, pissing behind a dumpster, and a cop gave us tickets.
Right.
And we had to go to court. And as they were, by the time they got to the third one of us, the whole courtroom was in hysterics. That, you know, 3 clowns, half in the bag at 2 a.m, leaving a bar, taking a piss behind a dumpster. Like, I can only imagine this when they get to the, depositing waste on a highway. Charge ready.
Yeah, that's great. Hopefully they don't try to throw her on a sex offender registry. That would not be good.
No. Her affidavit says she deposited an accumulation of liquefied human feces on the hood of a driver's car. Yeah, right?
That is
You got to throw the car away. Like, I wouldn't even be, like, there's no way I'm getting in that grill with one of those high pressure sprayers. Like, no, dude, I'd be worried about kickback. That disgusting fat woman. Oh, I'd feel so violated.
That is so crazy.
So she said she was walking back to her car. Okay. The driver of the silver sedan, the one that was shit on, called her an insulting name. Okay.
Before or after?
This is how it started. So she's walking to her car, and for some reason that she doesn't get into, someone just rolled down their window and called you an insulting name. Sounds like there's more to that story, but okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Something happened in the Walmart before they went out into the parking lot.
This made her angry. I wanted to punch her, but I shit on her car instead and went home. Police Chief David Madonna said actions are being joked about a lot, but we're treating it seriously and handling her like any other criminal. It can't happen in this community. No town wants this to happen in their town. The recognition a town gets over this kind of thing, it's really unwelcome, and we don't want that. He's not wrong.
No,
that's a great comment.
Is it as big of a deal would it be as big of a deal if it were just like a normal shit? It's like a normal shit, just like a normal, healthy shit. As offensive to this person than what actually happened, because what actually happened is just very bad.
Is it the liquefied version or the fact that she went up like a hood ornament and just fucking shot?
Both.
Yeah.
The liquefaction makes it really bad, though.
Yeah. I think you're right. I hadn't thought about this, but if she would have just shit on the ground and thrown it at the car,
right,
it would have been like, yeah, you fucking monkey. What are you doing?
Yeah, or shit in her car and threw it out the window at her,
Yeah. I think that's fair game. But
I don't think I don't think she's getting charged with as much if that happens. Yeah,
I think you might be right. Sergeant Henry O'Neill, who nabbed Solometto and took her into custody. O'Neill was able to get in touch with her over the phone after calling numbers listed for her and her family members. She said she had a good idea why the sergeant was calling and wanting to talk to her. Really? Yeah, you didn't just think that the cops called you out of the blue? You thought maybe it. Imagine having to explain, because you know there's a Mr. Solomato. Can you imagine Rocky? Yeah, it looks like a fucking miserable house mom of
like
some
she
sort.
got arrested at the trailer park or something.
Yeah, imagine like having to come home and explain to Rocky, like, so hear me out.
What?
Oh,
like that's like
dude.
a mental break type shit.
Yeah, but she seemed almost proud of it. She said she did not want to come to the police station to discuss what happened. Instead, she chose to share her side of the story over the phone and claimed she was having stomach issues, which caused her to shit on the other driver's car during their dispute. She said the other driver was in front of her at a traffic light and mocking her after Solometo honked her horn due to the motorist not accelerating after the light turned green. She believed the motorist began following her, and that's when she stopped her vehicle, exited. The other driver's like, yeah, I was driving home. I was not following this fucking idiot anywhere.
Yeah.
I would have run her over. Honestly, if someone got out of their car and then backed that fat ass up to my car, I would have just floored it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think
Like,
the
seriously.
only way, like, unless she actually followed you home and like pulled in your driveway, maybe you can justify it at that point. Like, hey, crazy lady, what the fuck are you following me home for? I'm gonna shit on your car. Maybe then.
I feel like,
but like, just because she's like driving down the same road as you doesn't mean that she's following you home.
Yeah.
You know, as someone who's been followed home, I did not have the urge. I said, as someone who's been followed home, I did not have the urge to shit on the person's car.
No, I have no problem with, if someone follows you home, getting a bat out of your car and smacking their windshield up, taking a mirror out.
For sure.
Like, I get that, but that one. Yeah. So O'Neill, the cop, went to Solometo's house and asked for more information. She told him it was a clean poop. I didn't even have to wipe. You did, though.
Okay,
you did.
though. We all saw it, and you did.
Yeah.
You actually did.
Yeah.
You very much did, actually.
Oh, society is losing it, man. Did you see Trump?
It is indeed.
Did you see, we'll do one more, and then we'll do some email, because it's starting to pile up on us. Walters@DetroitCast.com. If you'd like to send an email for me, Amy, the show, whatever. Trump sent out a, what are they, tweets? Or are they truths? Is that what he sends most of his stuff out on?
Yeah.
Truth Social.
Something like that.
Something like that. He wants to rebuild and open Alcatraz. Did you hear about that?
Yeah, I saw that. I
think he,
sounds good to me.
He has also directed the opening of a detention center at Guantanamo Bay, Cuba, to hold up to 30,000 of what he labeled worst criminal aliens. So he wrote, rebuild it and open Alcatraz. For too long, America has been plagued by vicious, violent, and repeat criminal offenders, the dregs of society who will never contribute anything other than misery and suffering. When we were a more serious nation in times past, we did not hesitate to lock up the most dangerous criminals and keep them far away from anyone they could harm. Blah, blah, blah. He goes on and on. He says he wants to wants the Justice Department, FBI, and Homeland Security to reopen a substantially enlarged and rebuilt Alcatraz to house America's most ruthless and violent offenders. We will no longer be held hostage to criminals, thugs, and judges that are afraid to do their job and allow us to remove criminals who came into our country illegally. The reopening of Alcatraz will serve as a symbol of law, order, and justice. We will make America great again. Yeah, I don't see that happening. But
you don't? Why not?
No. Well, Alcatraz, first off, I suppose it could. That is federal land. As of 1972, I believe the federal government owns Alcatraz Island. I don't know how you expand it. It's called the Rock. It's literally just a rock in the ocean, but it's also a massive tourist spot in California.
Yeah.
I've been to Alcatraz. I got punched on Alcatraz. Some fucking kid punched me in the stomach when I was 12.
Oh no.
It's usually sold out. It can be sold out days in advance. I had to pull rank once and get media passes to take me and some family over there. Me and Beth and my sister and Jen went over there, and it's awesome. It's really cool. It's a landmark out there in California.
Yeah, and I mean, are the facilities like really up to date to like take in people?
No.
I feel like they're not.
No. And the other thing is Alcatraz is small. It's not it held like a few hundred people.
Right.
So this idea and the reason it closed was because it was too expensive. Like it's got no fresh water. So they need to like barge in 1 million gallons of water a week or a month or something like that.
Wow.
Over to Alcatraz. And it's kind of a
What do they need fresh water for?
well, to cook, shower, whatever.
There's prisoners.
Yeah, true. It's kind of cool. The stories you hear in there, like they've kept have you ever been there?
No, I haven't been there, but I've watched like documentaries about it and stuff, so I'm familiar with what they've got going on over there.
It's really cool, like seeing the cityscape and all that, and it looks like you could swim.
Yeah.
It looks like you could make it.
Yeah.
But it's super cold water.
Like if you were a prisoner, you'd obviously give it a try, right?
Yeah. Like there's a day.
What have you got to lose?
When I was in my 20s, 100% I would have. Like now, I wouldn't make it 5 feet offshore before I drown and was shark food. But in my 20s, dumb, like all the stamina in the world, for sure, I would have been like, I could make it. But yeah, like Al Capone was there, the Birdman of Alcatraz.
Yeah.
Who the birds would fly into the island and he would collect those. But yeah, I thought this was kind of interesting. Before it permanently closed, there were 14 separate escapes involving 36 inmates. 23 were captured, 6 were shot and killed.
Yeah.
2 drowned, and 5 were never found. I love that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if they made it, good for them. Good for them.
Yeah. I mean, you have to assume they drowned.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But, dude, you got to think, this is 1960 something, 1959. Like, there's no cameras around town. Like, being a criminal was in the, see, I'll get you, see. Yeah, let me talk to Bootsy. Me and Bootsy are on the run, see. Like, there was there was no cameras. Like, if you made a break for it, you had a shot.
Yeah.
You had a shot.
And you could like get a new identity and, you're not all over the internet.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have sleuths everywhere trying to rat you out. You can go underground.
Yeah.
So, there were a couple people. There was a bank robbing trio, Frank Morris, Clarence Anglin, and John Anglin. They escaped in 1962. They left behind dummy heads made of plaster and human hair to fool the guards. And I believe those are still in the cell. That's recreated, at least. I don't know if they have the original ones, but you can like go in the cell and see, like with the blankets up to the plaster heads with hair on them. They were never found. Some suspected they didn't survive the frigid water, strong currents. I mean, those currents get crazy. But their daring escape also sparked wild theories that they made it ashore, adopted new lives like you're talking about, and are just, made it off somewhere.
Yeah.
So it would cost a shitload of money because everything needs to be barged over there.
Right.
There's no. So I think Trump loves doing this, throwing this stuff out there. I don't think that's going anywhere. But would you like to see it opened up again?
What, Diesel? Yeah, it wouldn't bother me. But I mean, I see your point that it's expensive. It is a tourist destination too, so
Yeah, I think they get like 1.5 million people a year that go over there and, take the tour, and they've got different tours you can do. And I've done it a couple times. It's really cool, and it's gorgeous. It's beautiful, with the Golden Gate Bridge and the city and and all that. So what's your dog doing?
So when we started this show, Mike, there was natural light in my room. And so as we've continued on, it's gotten darker, and I only have my ring light on. So there's my shadow is behind me and quite prominent. You can see it. And my dog, who's going to be 14, so he's old as fuck.
Yeah.
He's sitting over here, but he's only watching my shadow. And then he's just like started like whining about it. But like, he's only watching my shadow move. Like, he's not watching me. He's watching my shadow. And every time my shadow moves, he like cocks his head.
Yeah. He's probably a little bit blind, and maybe that's all he can see.
No, for sure. Yeah. So he's like confused, like, what's happening? My mom is doubled.
Yeah. Why don't you turn on the light in the room and then?
Well, because then I'd have to take my headphones out, and I'd have to go over
it's a whole thing.
And turn it on, and I just,
all right, let's do a couple emails and then we'll get out of here for today. Thank you, everybody, for hanging with us. James says the hole needs an extender. I think that's talking about you bitching about your internet connection. Also says the dentist. We had a nice long discussion about our fucked up teeth, me, you, and Isis the other day. I've been blessed. I've only had one bad dentist ever. If you want a reference for two great dentists who won't rape you physically or financially, Flushing Valley Dental in Flushing, Michigan, or Smiles in St. Clair Shores. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be going to one of those.
Seems a little far for me.
Yeah.
And my sister is a dental hygienist, so I go wherever her dentist is.
Yeah, having like people in your circle that are in that dental world.
Yeah.
Huge, man.
It is.
Huge win. Because that shit is crazy.
Yeah.
The Dentist Podcast. 40 minutes in today's show, and I've learned about your teeth and a trial I couldn't give a fuck about. The show is literally becoming unlistenable. I have not listened, but Lady Isis is making it tough these days.
Okay.
This is your boy Connor. He does this. He used to shit all over Isis too.
Yes.
Let's see. I'd say I'll check back in after the trial, but I'm guessing Lady Tard will move on to some other bullshit.
Only because you asked so nicely.
Yeah, I know. See, this is what I have to deal with. Bill says, Mike, did you know they sell Arnold Palmer in a gallon jug?
They do.
Yeah. I think I've seen that. Is that the Arizona?
Yeah, and I think it's got Arnold Palmer's face on it, I feel like.
I think you're right. I think you are correct. All right, should we do one more? Again, Walters at DetroitCast.com. Diesel, quiet, Roops. What are you screams in your head off about?
Seriously, my shadow. Freaking him out.
My takeaway from Bob De Niro's brat being trans is that Bob is a shit dad. Whatever that thing is claimed that never in its life was it told they were good enough as they were, that's fucked up. I have 4 kids because my pullout game is weak as fuck. All 4 of my kids know they are awesome as they are, and it is always acceptable to strive to be better. Mistakes happen. It's more important to learn from them. I'm not trying to brag as being a parent is the bare minimum required for me. But I am using this to point out Bob sucks as a dad. Yeah.
Touche. I agree.
Yeah. Yeah. There's no doubt. And when you read the details of that, you go, yeah, broken human being. Bob De Niro is clearly a shit father.
Yeah.
And how could he not be? You can imagine where Bob is filming all over the world, and who knows who's watching one of his 7 kids from 4 women.
Yeah.
Who the fuck knows? But yeah. he's got a 26, 29-year-old son, daughter that came out as
right.
Yeah, I think he does. Yeah. But comes out as trans after watching fucking Little Mermaid live action. Like, okay. Yeah. You failed there, Bob. You failed as a dad.
100%.
All right, Sweet Pea. Let's call it a day there. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Have a great rest of the evening. And